Oh, there we go. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Not complete. Yes, sign your oath.
You do that.
Name? Yes, no, I will give you.
I see that.
Okay.
Let's just give a minute to get started. Ms. Malega, what's on your mind?
Say me.
What's on your mind before we start?
I just want to ask one more time that if we decided as a body not to move forward with this, there's no ramifications, nothing legally we have to do. We just say we've decided to put this on pause.
Yes, we can put it on pause. We can cancel the solicitation, whatever you decide.
Okay, I'm going to go on the record one more time for saying I personally think that we are on a forward moving trajectory with the city. I don't want to do this. I think that the person that we have as interim city manager is doing a great job. And I think that it would behoove us to pause and have a real conversation with the interim city manager, seeing if he is interested in continuing to steer the ship where the ship is going. Because to me, when I look back and reflect on how long it's going to take someone to get caught up, it's frightening me because of all the big things we have going on. So I just wanted to go on the record to say that. So thank you for indulging my light.
That's quite all right. Mr. McVoy.
This is a historic occasion, twice in one day.
You need to. Is it? It's on.
It's on. I could not agree more with Vice Mayor Malega that I think this is unwise to do at this point. One thing I agree, there are a lot of big things happening. There is a huge, as some of us have seen recently, having been through a turnover, there's a big learning curve to get up to speed. It has nothing to do with, the abilities of the person. There's just a lot of stuff. And I think switching horses in midstream right now, I don't see a reason to do so. And I see a lot of reasons to not do so. I will say I did read one thing, and I think it was in the Raftelis application, that one of the things they said they do.
The innovative.
What's up?
The innovative interviews?
No, not that one. Well, I mean, that, they all say they're going to do innovative interviews and all that sort of stuff, but and that we're the best. But they said something, yeah, here it was. We also develop first-year organizational goals for the successful candidate. The goals will ensure that the applicants know what will be expected of them, that the city has clearly identified objectives for the new city manager, and blah, 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 successful candidate. And I thought, there's zero reason that we couldn't do something similar like that with our current existing manager. And if we need to give him a little direction that's different than what's going now, I think we could come up with a process to do that. And I see no harm in giving. And I thought the logic of, hey, they want their candidate to be successful, so they think about that once you pick somebody. That would be my 2 cents.
Thank you. 3 of us have been here for 4 years, and we've had 4 city managers, a couple interim. Yeah. Mike, Juan.
Yeah, you're right.
Carmen and
Yeah. Motion to adjourn?
I was just going to say a motion to table this.
Second?
Well, let's
But
have discussion.
Let
Yeah,
the
okay.
mayor speak.
Well, everybody's going to get to speak. I tend to agree. The learning curve, we have a lot going on. We have triple P projects approaching us. We have WMOTA. We have the Gulf Stream going on. We have a lot of things happening. We have had a lot of turnover in staff. We've had 4 city managers in 4 years. And I do agree. I mean, I'm torn because on some, the learning curve is insane. And after what happened to our last city manager, it's a little frightening. So if it was the commission's pleasure to go forward and talk to Jamie and postpone this or whatever, I would be willing to do that. He's doing an exemplary job. There are certain things about being city manager that are not just what, he would have to, like you said, we'd have to set up. And this is the thing that I've always said, because I was a victim of this right on this dais in 1998. You don't call for a review if you've never reviewed them, because that's what happened here. It's a clear sign of you're on your way out. So if whoever we hire, whatever direction we go in, we have to have updates with either one-on-ones or in public at least twice a year and probably 4 times a year, because this is any city, our city, especially with all the stuff that we have going, there's so many moving parts. Continuity, we haven't had much continuity. I mean, our first 3 years on the dais, we had, I'll just say, a different city commission. We had turnover of staff. Maybe a lot of people left, from every department. And it sounds, from what I'm hearing now, and Lauren, I'm looking at you, fairly stable. We've got a lot of positions filled. Tell me if I'm wrong. Where are we at with that, with turnover?
Learning my lessons. I guess this is normal. So Lauren Sladen, HR director. I do believe that our staffing is stabilized, especially at the senior level.
Mhm.
I think a lot has to do with Jamie, because we all think the world of Jamie. I think if you do go forward, I will beg you to please hire a public works director, so he's only doing one job.
Oh, no, we'd have to do that. Right.
Because I think he's done an amazing job for having, and that's with 2 jobs.
He would have to be the city manager.
Yes.
And there's a difference in nature to that job than interim city manager.
Yes, but I think I could speak for the entire executive team.
Mhm.
That we all think the world of Jamie. We respect him. He keeps the camaraderie going, and he gives us leeway. He's not a micromanager, but he keeps us on our toes and make sure that we, tells us what we need to do. I think Valentina can vouch for that. And
Vision for the future?
yes, absolutely. He's one of the smartest people I know.
Could he continue, could he do continuing education for city management education?
Oh, absolutely. There's all sorts of stuff for that. There isn't a certification for city managers, and I could guide him in that direction. As an interim, we weren't pushing it, but he needs to have just one job. He's got young
We all
children.
feel that way. We all feel
I'm
that
pretty sure he loves his wife and like to occasionally see
way. I'd
her.
like to see her once. Okay, here's one thing. With all due respect to the world, after the experience we had with Carmen, I'm wondering if, and we haven't, we're just talking here. I mean, if we were to go that route, he's real vulnerable. Okay. Right now he's not. Right now he's, he could fall back into that position, right? That's what happened.
Yes.
As city manager, that goes away. And if given the history, I'd be a little nervous if I were him. So I'm looking.
Color from the background here.
Please do.
Just to keep us focused that this is a selection committee meeting on this RFP.
Right.
So
We may or may not go forward with it.
right, but you need to focus your conversation really on whether or not you're going to move forward with the RFP and the process to negotiate and hire outside of this RFP process should be done at another time.
I think also the reasons for going forward or not going forward, it's a legitimate conversation.
I just, like I said, I just want to make sure that you're conscientious that there is a limit to how far you
Right.
really should go with it.
Okay.
That conversation in this meeting.
Okay, thank you. Ms. May.
Let's see, having not been here through any other city managers, I'm deferring to my colleagues on their experience, and I'm hearing what you're saying. I was obviously present at the sacrifice of the last one, and that was horrible. if we go forward with this, it doesn't necessarily mean that we are hiring somebody. It means we're hiring a firm to find out if
Please,
there
talks
are
really, thank you.
if there are people out there that are qualified to do this job. Now, I'm not, and I will go on record that I think Jamie's doing a great job. And I think the problem is that a city manager with a parachute back to another job, it's not fair to the person that takes that job nor the city manager. And I think that would be a difficult position to put somebody in. As far as this procedure, I think we should at least go through the steps to pick up a company. I mean, a staffing company. I don't think that that's going to be that. I mean, it's pretty there. I don't think that that will be that difficult to do. We don't know what's out there. It may be an assistant city manager from somewhere that's within Palm Beach County that has all of the experience we're looking for, knows all the same people and wants to do that job. We don't know. And I'm not saying that it won't be a learning curve. And I'm not saying that I hear what you guys are saying, but I still think that more information is better. So that's where I am on it.
But I'm not going to be careful about what I say because it's either.
Okay, I would like to go forward with this process.
Okay,
That's what I'm saying.
So I hear you guys bringing up the examples of what happened the last couple of years between city managers. It's actually not that uncommon for municipalities to go through that. Past dysfunction is not a reason not to do the right thing. Now, Jamie can speak for himself. I've had conversations with Jamie on this topic, and I hesitate to bring forward his answer. But he can apply for this job. Of course he's not. And he already said he wasn't. But so the people of this city deserve the shot at bringing in a city manager, a true city manager. Jamie's been split across 2 jobs. Great guy, has the respect of everybody. But this is what our residents want to see. They want to see us go out and get a city manager, a full-time city manager. Sometimes disruption is good. We've got a lot of departmental dysfunction in the city. We've got a lot of dysfunction in the city. We need metrics. We need measurements. We need to drive the city forward. I truly believe we need to go out and find the best candidate possible for our residents. And like I said, Jamie is free to apply for it. Whether he chooses to or not, that's up to him. But if he thinks he's the right guy for the job and you guys think he's the right guy for the job, put him against the best talent in the country that we have coming in for the job. And let's get our residents the best individual for the job. We're not losing Jamie. He can go back to being just the public works director. He might actually find some relief in that. And that's his personal decision. But we shouldn't sit here on the dais and make a personal career decision for an individual. Let him apply. If that's what he wants, let him apply. But I am a firm yes, move forward with this process. I think it would be a travesty if we did not do this. This is what the residents want. This is what they've been calling for. It's been how long since we've had a full-time city manager? This is something we need to do.
We're not talking about not having a full-time city manager. We're not suggesting we don't have a full-time city manager. Okay, there's a motion. And what's the motion to table this?
Made a motion to table this.
And does that mean to a certain time or is that open-ended? Just open-ended?
So we have the validity of the proposal is for 90 days.
Mhm.
So at this point, we would have to basically make a decision if we're going to stop it. So if we would cancel the solicitation, it does not mean that we cannot go out again, but if to be fair to all of the respondents who put all the work into this, we would have to, if you're not going to move forward with making a decision and evaluating and awarding a contract, we should my recommendation is to cancel the solicitation. It does not mean that we cannot go out if you want to do that in the 6 months or so, but the pricing and everything else and the terms and maybe the scope of work is going to change. So that would be it.
When you say 180 days, what's the time frame?
90 days.
90 days. From what to what? From the day that we put the
From the day when we received them,
close.
received the
it's closed.
proposals, yes, which was June 11th.
So, okay. I mean, I don't know that.
So
This is a hard one. And I understand what everybody's saying. I don't disagree necessarily with what everybody's saying. I've also lived through this and maybe that does make sense. So there's a motion and a second to table this could it be for a certain amount of time? So we don't have to necessarily, let's take a deep breath. I don't know, think this out. I don't know that anybody's opinions are going to change. This is a hard decision. Because if we go forward tonight and let me ask a question. If we go forward tonight and limit it to the 3, work it down to 3. We're still in that 90-day time frame.
You're not going to be for the next meeting. However, there is an intention to shortlist and then move it forward to an award. We would go back and request the extension. We can always request an extension that I wanted to say for some period of time until you make a decision. Some companies may accept it, some companies may not. I suspect that they would accept it, but we can request the extension for validity.
From them, they would.
Yes, from them to us.
So if we shortlisted this, we don't necessarily have to go forward with starting the process. We would have at least tonight, we would do what we were going to do just to have it in our back pocket.
You can do that.
So what would we?
But it is, I mean,
Yeah.
it is.
No, I understand. I'm just trying to.
You can do that. You can shortlist and then you're
Stop.
and then you will stop. It wouldn't be, I wouldn't say that wouldn't be fair. I just don't think it would be showing a great intention. It's not normally done. You either, if you want to stop it, you would normally terminate solicitation. If you want to think about it again and maybe sometime in 3 or 4 months, come back and redo this and go out on the street again. This is the second time we're doing this. So
We need to, we don't need to postpone this for a long time. That we need to take some sort of action.
Might I?
Go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. Couple thoughts. It's been mentioned that our residents have asked for this. I have not heard one single request for this. I have only heard positive things about the fact that we have a city manager who on day one, when he became acting city manager, started moving things that had been bottlenecked for a long time. I've heard positive things from employees. I've heard positive things from management. I've heard positive things from residents. So I think that there's this groundswell that we need a different person or we need a city manager. Keep in mind that there is no degree in city management per se. City managers come from all sorts of backgrounds. Some of them have done this, some of them have done that. The real issue is, can they get up to speed quickly? And the answer is no. It's not a function of the person or their education. It's a function that we have a pretty complicated system and you have somebody who is in place. Another thing to think about is, what do we have to offer that suggests that we would get the top talent? We are not a city that is large, that has all sorts of possibilities. We have a history of, quite wide-ranging views of where things can go. So there's a job stability aspect to it. There's certainly going to be some limitations in the pool based on what's happened in our state over the last several years. So there's no guarantee that one would be getting the A list of people. And I would be very much, I'm a no on going forward with this. I think in all respect and fairness to the companies, I would make it just a no, that we shut it down. And I would be very much in favor of some sort of process that we collectively come up with of how do we give Jamie direction or some, say, hey, let's develop some goals for the city and for the city manager position, and we'll figure out how to evaluate those in the next 6 months or something. I think that's fine to give him, more direction is. I don't see any problem with that.
Anybody that takes that role would need, I mean, some would need more than, obviously others would need more, but yeah, I mean, I think in all fairness to whatever employee we have, we need to be much more clear about what our expectations are, what the powers are, how, how they function with staff and also how they function with citizens and with us. So, I mean, it is complicated. I know, Ms. May, Mr. Segridge.
So it's interesting to hear Mr. McVoy make these comments about, oh, we don't know if we'll find the best candidate. Oh, we don't know this. He's one of the individuals that put us in this place. He was one of the individuals part of that firing without a plan.
Well,
So here we are. We have an interim city manager. We have a very talented individual in that position. However, ask ourselves one question. What is the actual harm of doing this process? If Jamie actually wants this job, he should interview for it, just like every other job.
Okay.
We owe it to our residents to see the candidates. And maybe he's the best one. Let him interview for it. I can't believe we are sitting here saying we are going to deny the residents the opportunity of getting a full-time city manager through an interview process where the individual can interview as part of that process and probably has a leg up over everybody else because he knows the system, he knows the players, he has some of the experience. What is the possible harm? And I see Commissioner Malega shaking her head saying he won't interview for it. And I will return to comments he's made to me about it. So if he doesn't want the job, what are we doing? We're forcing a choice upon the residents of this city for an individual that doesn't want the job.
I don't
think that's a
that's
correct
an
statement.
unfair, I
Can
think
I-
that's an unfair.
I will
Okay,
go
but
on
now-
go
all right.
on record. That was exactly what I was told. And I respect the man, and I'm being forced to talk about this because this is kind of a little bit ridiculous. We owe it to our residents.
We don't.
And saying, Mr. McVoy, that the residents weren't asking for it. I know you didn't pay much attention at the NAPC debate, but it was an actual question for the debate. Of course, the residents are asking for this.
Well,
It was a campaign question asked by the neighborhood association presidents. One of about 15 questions. It was in the top 10 of concerns people had.
about getting a permanent city manager.
Yes.
Right.
So we owe them this process. And nothing is to say he doesn't come out and be the winner. So if we're going to make a vote because he doesn't want to participate in it, to me, that's just ridiculous. And I don't mean to be emotional about it, but this is very frustrating. We have a process. We can go through the recruitment process. Top talent can apply and the city will come out the best. That's what we're
We
here
don't,
for.
well, I mean, we don't.
What's the
know-
best interest of the city?
You
And the
don't
best
know.
interest of the city is go through this process.
We have also from, and I'm just going to come in between a bunch of you, we owe it to we have heard a cry for a permanent city manager, certainly. But I've not heard really we've got to go out and look for a different one. I don't know. I mean, I understand what you're saying. I also just know what lies ahead.
And, sorry,
Ms. Malega.
Thank you. So, I'm not gonna go down the rabbit hole, but as a business owner, I know how to retain employees. Most of my employees have been with me for longer than 5 years, even on short businesses. And the reason that Mr. Brown will not apply is because he's been applying for the last 17 months that he's been doing the job. That was his application. And if we as a board cannot sit here and look at the level of service that he has brought to this city and the fact that he has raised the staff morale when we went through a tumultuous time. I mean, watching your city manager be fired the way all of our staff did, and then the only way we could stop the bleeding was Mr. Brown stepped in and he showed resilience and he brought this team back together. And I don't think it's fair or ethical for you to sit here and say that he should apply for a job that he has been knocking out of the ballpark for the last 17 plus months. That's my personal opinion. So I don't think he should have to apply. I think it's on me, the person who brought it up, to say, I don't want to move forward with this. I have made a motion. I would like the mayor to call the question because that's how I feel about this position.
All right, couple more comments, Mr. McBoy, real quick.
I can't agree more with what the vice mayor has said.
But the motion, please, the
Um,
motion is to table for a set amount of time or
Well,
what?
she just said that we have 90 days, so we're going to be out of the 90 days. So if we table it, we bring it back if we need to. We have to have a conversation, obviously, outside of here,
Right.
according to Elizabeth, that we can't have right now.
That's fine. I would add, in addition to the comments that we've heard, I've been through not only the 4 managers in the last 4 years, I've been through the hiring process. I've been through another firing process that happened. There's, you know, it's nice to say that the residents want this. It's nice to say that this will, you know, it's a great process. There is no guarantee to that. It is very difficult to evaluate on paper whether somebody worked out. We had a manager that looked great on paper and it didn't work out well at all. So I stand by my second and agree with it.
Okay, so it's table, but not to a certain time,
Only because I would like to have a conversation,
right?
HR and Jamie and Elizabeth, and see where we are with that.
Yeah.
Because as we were said, that we'd have to find a permanent replacement for Public Works.
Right. And to me, the deciding factor is the vulnerability of that position. So that would be something I would want to, as part of a conversation, I would want to have. So, so let's vote.
What was the motion? So I know whether I'm voting yay or nay.
I make a motion to table this conversation and not to a time certain, because obviously other conversations have to be had.
So just a clarification. So when you're saying that you're tabling it, you want to cancel the solicitation for time being?
Yes.
Thank you.
Cancel this completely
Time being, 'cause we're-
for the time being, but we have time before it becomes stale or.
Okay, so what we can do is we can postpone it. I can leave it open. I will maybe potentially issue notification for postponement. And then whatever decision is, if we continue to move forward with this, we will have to reach out to all of the respondents, confirm whether they are going to be still interested to do business with us, which potentially may happen or may have not. And then we can go through the evaluation process with those that have been. However, we should put a time limitation to that. I would say maybe 6 months from,
I would say.
I don't know.
Wait,
I
not,
don't
no,
know.
not 6. No, we can't do that. This has got to be something. We've got to have this process, whatever the process is, in, I mean, it's August now. Yeah, I'm thinking more like, month, 6 weeks, because we have to act.
I was gonna ask, we're, I think, about 6 weeks into this
Yes.
process of 90 days. So is it something where we could postpone for a month to give the commission
For
time
fact
and
finding.
that it's not too far out for
So
the respondents?
So we had the second meeting scheduled for the October 23rd. So maybe if this is the only time that you all had available. So what we could do is we can postpone this to October 23rd
So October 23rd was the day we were going to.
to
actually
do the final.
hire.
This is the second meeting where we would listen to the presentation. So basically what we can do today is then move this evaluation meeting to the October 23rd. And during that time, you can make a decision, discuss with the city attorney and with the HR and the interim city manager. And then in a case that you come up with a different decision, we can then do the active, and we will notify all of the
You'll ask those
respondents.
folks if they'll.
Yes, I will send a notification and extend the evaluation time.
October sounds like a really long way away. Is there not one date? What? What's just August, September? It's 2.5 months, almost 3 months. If there's not, anyway, if maybe we could find a date that's, we could all meet before October. I don't know.
We are going to try. I think that Shauna went through all of your calendars. It was a big problem because everybody's traveling. I'm traveling for 3 weeks. I'm
Oh.
going to be out from in August. So from August to beginning of September, we have another budget work session, then 2 budget hearings. We have 3 regular meetings, well, 2 regulars. And so if we find earlier, I don't think that they were able to find the earlier time. You can still bring that as a discussion, Elizabeth, in regular meeting. It does not have to be it doesn't have to be in this specific meeting if we're not going to do the evaluation, but you can still bring it for the discussion to the regular meeting without evaluating.
Just this motion need to be.
That we would postpone this selection
meeting.
process until the October.
Until the further date, which is for now, October 23rd.
And we can, if possible, we could move that forward if we can
If we
find
can find
another
a date.
date.
So
But that would be kind of the outlying.
I remove my motion to table and I make a new motion to extend this conversation to October 23rd or a
23rd.
time certain and before that.
That's good.
Do we have a
Second,
All in
as
favor?
amended.
Oh, well, what do you like to say, Mr. Zegrovich?
I'm being accused of going on opinion. If you think for a second, I didn't ask the current interim city manager before entering into this process if he wanted the job, you're crazy.
I think we all spoke.
I
with him
also asked
personally.
other directors because I believe in promoting from within. I believe in continuity, and none of them wanted the job. And if that's the truth, that we all got different conversations, that's a disqualifying factor right there. Because you have a person who's going to say something to the person in front of them just to appease them.
Well, let's not mischaracterize what may or may have been said individually to each other.
Well, I'm being told that I'm wrong. What was said to me directly, because I'm a pretty direct question asker. I'm being told that was wrong. So obviously, different things were said to different people. And I just really can't stress enough. There's no harm in asking Jamie to interview for the job.
That's an opinion.
We're not, please, not from, please. I'm having. If you have absolute, well, actually, it's a workshop, so you can't.
Anyway,
Anyway,
I mean, we've talked about it enough. Let's call the question.
all in favor?
Aye.
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 Against?
Nay.
Thank you. Okay,
Thank you.
hold on to your packets.
You're not. You have not. Here, and for any of you that's been up there and taken, that haven't heard from the public, but you haven't. And I guarantee you will be hearing.